Nathan, and he's the president of the Classic Landcruisers Club. Welcome.
G'day, mate.
How good is this show?
Oh, it's good. It's good. There's a lot of people and it's a good day.
Yeah, but I think you've got one of the cruisers here that's probably got up there with the most character. So
I think you meant rust.
The repairs are creative. So let's do a little bit of a look around on Nathan's. Yeah, what year model is this?
So it's made up of about 19 different vehicles.
Okay.
19 that I know of. Officially, the chassis are an FJ, so a petrol chassis.
Yes.
But it's got a BJ diesel motor in it.
Let's pop this bonnet and have a look at that. Okay.
So it's got a 4-cylinder 3B plus turbo.
Yeah. Okay. Yep.
And other than that, it's pretty standard.
Yeah, but it's intercooled, so I mean it must be awesome.
Well, it was thrown together pretty quickly, so I've only got half throttle cable movement, so I don't have all my power on tap.
Yeah, okay.
I've kept a bit in reserve.
Yeah, yeah. Well, you probably can't handle it all.
Well, it's tough. It's you know, it's a big ask.
But dude, this is a disgrace under here. Like, what's all with these cable ties? Like,
so a good mate of mine's an auto sparky, and he hates the ends, the tails left on the zip ties.
Shout out.
So every time Brock would come over, he'd cut them off, and then I'd add more and leave the tails. So I think there's probably 100 zip ties on this car that don't need to be there.
Yeah, right. So why the bog is just hanging on there, and it's held on by some greeny features of lichen?
Yeah. So it's got its own little ecosystem going on because all these panels did come out of the grass and from behind the shed and whatever else.
So it's environmentally friendly.
It is. Yeah.
The interior. I don't know if your camera's going to see this.
Hang on, there's a trick to the door.
The door doesn't work normally. Look at that. That seat ain't coming out. What I would notice in looking at all of these vehicles out here, most people put a lot of attention into the detail of their build. That Nathan doesn't.
Can I just point out that Bunnings sells tech screws in packs of 500, so you actually get quite good value for doing bodywork.
Anyway, and this is where the man sleeps. Look at that. It's actually spare panels. So when he was on the long drive for drought.
Well, a couple of years ago, we were at a club run and one of the Victorian guys broke an axle, and he was like, how am I going to get home to Victoria? So we took one of the axles out of the camper and gave it to him to drive home, and we put his broken hub back on.
So you've still got a diff centre in
there? There's
a
diff centre and a long axle still in it.
How good is that?
Critical spares.
So you sleep in here, that's your camper trailer?
Yeah, mate, yep.
More greenery going on up here, look at that, beautiful. I don't really know what to say, but I like it.
Mate, it serves its purpose. In this configuration, I did 3,500 Ks on the long drive, out to Winton and around the traps, and didn't miss a beat.
Tell us a little bit about the Classic Landcruiser Club.
So Classic Landcruiser Club, we started back in 2015. And the whole purpose was to drag everyone out of the internet and into the real world again.
Yep.
Because a few of us are reminiscing about the good old days when you'd actually go for a coffee and go four-wheel driving and whatnot. And in the world that we live in, you know, you need insurances and all that sort of stuff.
You do.
So we started the club to build a framework so that we could actually enjoy the vehicles and keep them on the road.
That's so good. So if you're interested in these older Land Cruisers and that, go and check out their website. But is it www.classiclandcruisers.com.au, and maybe you could join up and support what they're doing if you're into it. And but thanks for doing all the good work.
No worries,
Love
mate.
the truck, mate.
No worries.
That's just a cracker. Catch you later, guys.
Cheers.